Hello and welcome to another episode of On The Watch, where we don't let our fandom get in the way of our honest criticism. I'm your host, Maz, and this is my co-host, the Freddy to my Billy Batson, the Mark Strong to my champion, my brother Pish. How the heck are you, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Friends?
Partner.
Today we're going to talk about SHAZAM, the latest movie in a slate of DCEU. Now, Pish, DCEU movies have been
Rough
so far. We got Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, and SHAZAM. Maybe I should have said the Oscar-winning Suicide Squad,
Why would you say that?
because that is actually a thing.
How so?
They won an Oscar for some technical thing.
Well, whatever.
I know, but still.
Who cares about the Oscars?
Well, many people do, Pish. There are at least dozens of them. Now, looking at these slate of movies, what do you think about them?
It's a rough go. They had so much potential.
They did.
They had a lot of potential. The castings
Amazing.
on every one of these movies, except maybe for Suicide Squad, have been great.
I would argue Suicide Squad had a great cast as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Margot Robbie,
Yeah.
good casting, misused. It started off pretty decent with Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
But then the studio meddling and they wanted to rush the whole ensemble team thing because of the success of Avengers.
Okay.
Sort of messed things up. They're finding their footing, but it came at a huge cost.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm excited about the movies that are to come.
Okay.
Because right now they're going with the director-driven movies.
Yeah.
And that's much more interesting to me. They're not trying to fit everything in the universe.
I know you don't watch the trailers, but have you seen the first trailer for Joker?
No.
Okay. It looks
universe?
great. It looks great. It has nothing to do with the rest of the CEU.
Yeah, I know. That's what I love about it. And I think that's the best way to go at this point. I think Birds of Prey is also going to be sort of not in universe. Or it's not going to focus too much on the extended universe.
Honestly,
Also, The Suicide Squad is coming up, which is sort of a reboot.
it is a reboot, and that's where it gets confusing for me.
It's a very confused slate.
They're making Birds of Prey with Harley Quinn, with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. And they are making the Suicide Squad as well, with a whole new cast.
There are rumors Margot is involved.
Yeah, I don't know. Like there've been rumors all over the place.
I don't know what they're gonna do. The problems they have is that they can't do a hard reboot now because some of these movies and some of these actors in those roles have been very successful.
That is true.
And they want to keep those, but they want to get rid of the clunkers and they want to reboot those.
But you cannot have your cake and eat it too.
It's a rough place to be in right now. But I think it's the right decision to not focus on the extended universe for a while and then see how things go.
Okay.
Other than that, the existing slate, I'd say let's do a top 3.
Let's do a top 3. Okay, you go.
You want me to go?
You go.
Okay. This is gonna shock you.
Okay. Are we gonna do with or without Shazam?
That's a good question.
Let's do without first. And at the end of the video, we're gonna do a with.
It's a good idea.
I'm full of it.
All right. My top 3.
Shoot.
Absolutely. And without a doubt.
I know.
At number 1, Aquaman.
All right.
Aquaman is a great movie. And it's a very confident movie. Listen.
It is a very confident movie in a place where it has no right to.
I did not look forward to Aquaman at all.
Okay.
You remember that.
Yeah. And I was actually.
I thought the marketing was terrible. But that's because the writing is terrible.
The writing is absolutely garbage.
And you pick any scenes to show it, each one scene, and it's kind of looked terrible. I feel like the action didn't come across in the trailers.
Okay.
But the action is actually pretty amazing. I think they did some great things with the camera movements and still being able to track what's going on. It did some very creative stuff. It started off with a very bad script. But James Wan, the director, really lifted the material.
Okay.
And he just ran with it. He did whatever the hell he wanted. And he really did some creative stuff. It had a very original look to it. I liked the world building a lot.
Okay.
And it was overall fun. I'd say the biggest problem is somewhere in the midpoints where they try to do some character building, because that's just not the strong suit of the movie.
Okay.
But overall, extremely fun. I love that movie. It had a 90s montage scene, and
oh, it did.
It was great. It was great.
Second one.
Wonder Woman.
This is shocking to me.
This is shocking to you.
Knowing you've been hating on that movie for 2 years, we've had many conversations about it.
I could, as a man, stand up to you, look you in the eye, and say I was wrong.
Okay.
The way John Locke said it.
Big man.
I was wrong. Yeah, I could say that. It's a decent movie.
Okay.
Starts off very rough. I don't like the Amazon stuff still.
All right.
Once they get to the World War I,
the Great War,
things really start to come together, and I really like her personality. She is a true hero.
She is.
It's a very positive take on a hero.
It is.
And this is what they needed at that time, because their movies were grim, and they wanted to do this dark, gritty tone that Nolan sort of honed in his movies. They had a rough time trying to hone that tone, especially with the sort of a heroes that DC has. And Wonder Woman went for the positive take and a hero in the truest sense, somebody you can admire, somebody you look up to, and I really respect it for that.
All right.
And her character really comes across as a hero. And the action was pretty great.
Action was really good.
There's a fight scene in Belgium that I really enjoyed particularly. It's a little confused. That's why I put it at number 2 and not 1. It is a confident movie for sure, but is not as cohesive as Aquaman. And that's a weird thing to say.
It is. It really is.
And I do realize that, but in its all over the placeness, Aquaman is very cohesive and it sort of has a style. And Wonder Woman does as well, but the tone is a little confused. It takes itself pretty serious at moments, while going for very cheesy moments at other points. And I respect cheese, man, as you know that, since Aquaman is my number 1. But I don't respect confused tones.
I might have to disagree with you here.
The villains do not work for me.
No, the villain is not
Poison or whatever.
Yeah, the villain is not great in a Wonder Woman. I give you that, but I do have to say that Aquaman has moments that is trying to be serious and build up character, and then it goes back to like super 90s cheese.
It doesn't. It never tries to be serious.
But it does though.
When?
Spoiler alert for Aquaman. When they reunite with his mom.
It's not serious, man.
It is serious.
There's nothing serious in that movie.
It is serious.
There's nothing.
I have no idea what Nicole Kidman is doing in that movie, by the way. Her acting choices are odd at best.
Hey, this is my number 2 we're talking here. Aquaman deserved my spot of number 1, for sure.
Okay.
Wonder Woman, it's a little confused. It's a little iffy. It's a little too classical. It's a little... There's a lot of littleness. That's
what she said.
It's a bit of a... I like it to be a little bit more fresh, and it's not.
Okay.
It has sort of the mainstays of an older movie, and by that I mean from a different era. And I know it's a period piece.
That was what I was gonna say.
I know you were gonna say that.
My man.
I know it's a period piece, but the tone is sort of a movie made in the 80s or 90s, and yeah, it sort of bothers me. I wish it was a little bit more fresh. I wish it was a little bit more cohesive in its tone and tried to be a little more. It's got some old-fashioned sensibilities to it that I wish it was
not there. Okay.
There, yes. My number 3.
Your number 3.
I gotta go with Man of Steel.
Pesh.
Well, it's not like I've got an abundance of choices here, Mas.
True, but also we've had a lot of discussions about Man of Steel.
I like Man of Steel just fine.
That's not okay.
I think what hurts me the most about Man of Steel is I've never thought it's a terrible movie. I just thought it's a movie that didn't live up to its potential. Okay. It could have been so much better. So much better. It's a decent movie. It could have been a great movie.
Can it be said about every movie though?
No.
Good talk.
There are great movies there that could have been better, sure. But Man of Steel is not a great movie. It's a decent movie.
Okay.
To me. The casting, amazing. Amazing. All across the board. Henry Cavill is a great Superman. The writing is not that bad.
Okay.
I like his themes in general that he tries to delve deeper in. It's a sort of a reinvention of Superman, which is what I hoped a little bit for Wonder Woman. It's a little bit of reinvention.
Okay.
And it's a modern take on Superman, which I really enjoyed. And I just think it's also very ham-fisty with his themes, and that's what puts it in number 3 for me. There are scenes that just break the movie for me.
Okay.
Mostly involving Pa Kent. Also, the final battle at the time it came out really bothered me, like many others.
Okay.
Because it was very un-Superman-like.
Okay.
In the general sense of not trying to get other people hurt. I liked it a lot that they picked up on that theme in Batman vs. Superman, or Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Longest title ever.
I really liked the first 20 minutes of that movie, but that's about it.
Okay.
And it's because they addressed that problem. That's my top 3, Mas. Let's go to yours.
And let's go to mine. Now, my number 1 is not gonna shock you at all.
No.
It is Man of Steel. I think it's the best written one out of the whole bunch, out of every DC movie so far. I think it's the best acted one. I think it has a very dark, awesome themes about coming of age, getting to know yourself. And also every movie that can get away with a line like, we had a child, a boy child, is just... These are signs of greatness, bitch. These are signs of greatness. I do feel why people have problems and issues with this movie. But also, we have to understand this is Superman's first fight. He's trying to hone his skills. He's trying to get to know himself. He's just in the middle of the discovery of his own identity.
I get that. That's not my biggest gripe.
I feel like that movie is truly great. Great.
Oh.
And I feel like critics have been way too harsh on that movie.
Definitely.
You included.
No. I've never hated on the movie.
You included.
I've never hated on the movie.
My number 2, Pish.
Wait. One thing I would like to say about Man of Steel before you move on.
Okay.
Man of Steel is the only modern movie with modern sensibilities in the whole slate. Aquaman is a 90s action movie.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of cheese. And that's my problem with Wonder Woman as well. It's from a different era, and it's a different era that I didn't like. The sensibilities. 90s action I can respect. I can enjoy. But Man of Steel is the truly modern take.
Okay.
And that's... It deserves a spot in top 3 for sure.
What really hurts me is after Man of Steel, studio meddling became real.
Oh, it became real.
If they would have let Zack Snyder do what he wanted to do, I don't think the following movies would have suffered as much. We can agree on Zack Snyder being a much better visual director than a storyteller.
I'm not a fan, Maz.
I'm not a huge fan as well. I mean, he made Watchmen, which is one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Director's cut. But I do believe that he's a great visual director. You cannot see a Zack Snyder movie and not know who directed it. He got his own sense of style. He's a very ballsy director. He is.
But he's ballsy for the sake of being ballsy.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. I don't think he's quite a mature filmmaker.
I think he needs a better writer.
Absolutely. David Goyer should just kick it.
Yeah. He needs a better writer.
Well, how does this David Goyer guy gets on any project? Does he have a bunch of like blackmail material on everybody? And he just squeezes himself into every project that DC is involved with?
That might be harsh.
Because Nolan worked with him as well.
No, I think he got a great knowledge of comic books. I don't think he's particularly a great writer. I think he might be a better advisor for writers than he is a writer. Number 2.
I'm excited here.
It is also Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. I should have known. I'm actually more excited about your number 3.
You should be. It will shock you. Now, Wonder Woman, I feel like I love the character of Wonder Woman. I think she is by far the best role model for young girls growing up right now. I think she's a great role model for young boys growing up right now. Love her to bits and pieces. I think Gal Gadot, who I was very, very, very in doubt and skeptical of what she could bring to the role as an actor, because before that we've only seen her in Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
Not particularly great.
No.
She was amazing. I don't think they could have found a better Wonder Woman for me.
Gal Gadot is pretty great, and I like to say that I like to admit another thing. On our Captain Marvel review, I might have said that I think Captain Marvel is the better character. Since I've rewatched Wonder Woman.
Oh, wow.
And I was wrong.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Wonder Woman is the better character.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it's also the nature of the story, isn't it?
Let me take a moment. Are we doing a free stream high five for this?
Probably are.
Awesome.
No, I gotta admit, it's a well-rounded character.
Hey, big man to admit that.
Big man.
And my number 3.
Oh, I'm curious.
Pej.
Because this is a stinker pool of cess, and I know you don't like Aquaman.
I do not like Aquaman. Now, let me talk about Aquaman first. I think Aquaman belongs in the same depth of hell that Suicide Squad does.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. The writing is worse than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but the movie
is character development is worse than Suicide Squad.
No.
And if it wasn't for Jason Momoa and the amount of fun he's having, and basically all the actors and the amount of fun they're having, I would argue in Suicide Squad, there's only 1 or 2 people who know what kind of movie they're in.
Nobody's having fun in Suicide Squad.
Will Smith is having fun in Suicide Squad.
Will Smith is just being Will Smith. And yeah, of course he's having fun by being Will Smith. Guys,
it's a good place to be.
In love with himself.
Good place to be. In Aquaman, everybody knows what kind of movie they're in. And that kind of saves it and makes it a bit better than Suicide Squad, but it's in the same ballpark for me.
Oh, that leaves... Martha.
It is Batman v Superman,
No.
Dawn of Justice. The extended cut.
No.
Nah.
This is not a Watchmen scenario. The extended cut is not better.
It is better.
It does not make the movie
Not by
great.
much.
Not by much.
Not by much, but it is better.
Yeah.
Now, my defense.
Yeah.
I do feel like Ben Affleck is a great Batman.
He was a dope Batman.
I
feel bad for him.
I feel super bad for him. Sad Affleck is real and is afoot.
Yeah.
I think that movie kind of works where it shouldn't.
Batman scene is great.
Everything Batman is in is great. Everything Superman is in is great. I've
never really been the one who has problems with Batman killing and anything, because I feel like every take is different, you know.
Yeah, it's different, and there are comics where Batman kills.
Yeah,
so
that hasn't bothered me.
It's not.
The movie is just not great.
Let me make my case first.
Okay, make your case, man.
Batman works for me. Mm-hmm. Ben Affleck was great in the role. Mm-hmm. Superman worked for me. Henry Cavill is great in the role. I have some problems with Lois Lane. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of problems with Lex Luthor. Hello, darkness, my old friend. But even then, I like the takes action. I've come to talk with you again. I don't think it got executed well enough. Because a vision. But I like the take.
Do I get some credit for when that movie came out? I freaking loved Wonder Woman and any scene she was involved with.
Yes.
And that soundtrack, I loved it. And you freaking hated it. Does that give me some credit that sort of I saw the genius, but then was disappointed, and now I'm coming back, you know?
No. Right. No. I still don't like the Junkie XL theme for
I love it.
Wonder Woman. And it's not like separate from the movie, it's a good track. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't work in the
love it.
main soundtrack of the movie.
Love it. If there's one redeeming thing about that movie,
mm-hmm.
it's the soundtrack. I like the Lex Luthor track. I like the Wonder Woman track. Yeah. And the Superman track is also pretty great. Batman, did he have a track?
Batman has a lot of things, but it's called Bat Track.
Bat Track.
Yeah. I think the 20 minutes of the movie is the strongest part of the movie.
The first 20 minutes.
And the third act just falls apart with the villain.
Doomsday?
Doomsday. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or Abomination, basically.
That was junk.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like still it's a better written movie than most of the other movies. I just like the movie better than all the rest. I don't really have any more defense for it.
Isn't it 3 hours long, the director's cut?
It felt like 6.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like 6.
See, that's why I can't put it above Aquaman. Aquaman is a fun 2 hours, sure. But that it doesn't make me sit through that for 3 whole hours.
If it was that fun, why did I need 3 sittings to finish that movie?
Well, that's on you. That's on you, brother.
Hey, different sensibilities. That's fine. Mm-hmm. That's fine. We're not going to get personal here. Mm-hmm. We're not going to get personal here, Pesh.
All right. It's a decent list. I don't agree with your number 3 at all.
All right.
You don't agree with my number 1. And the rest is the same.
And especially because it's number 1, Pesh. How does that even happen?
It's a good movie.
All right.
All right. I wouldn't say it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Oh, wow. Wow. And you know how happy I get when I see Dolph Lundgren in any movie, right? In this movie, I was like, "Hey, Dolph, what are you doing?"
I love Aquaman for the same reason I love the Mortal Kombat movie. And I think,
first of all,
and I think James Wan should definitely, if there's ever gonna be a reboot of the Mortal Kombat movie, because the IP is getting pretty big again.
Okay.
Because the games have been pretty good.
Okay.
They've reinvented it and it's been pretty awesome. So if they're ever gonna do a movie, freaking James Wan, he's got to do it. He can pull it off.
I agree with that. James Wan should direct a Mortal Kombat movie. Mm-hmm. But I also think the original Mortal Kombat is perfect.
Perfection.
It is by far the greatest movie of all time with the greatest soundtrack of all time.
And you're shocked that I like Aquaman? It's the same level of greatness.
Did Aquaman have Christopher Lambert as an Asian thunder god?
No, but it had Dolph Lundgren.
Did it?
Yes, it did. And
he was in 2 scenes, Fish.
And he had Willem Dafoe as Yoda. It had an octopus playing drums.
That is true. Now, I'm gonna say, the octopus with the drums, it really made me chuckle. Yeah. Like, hard. That was funny. But also, why?
Why not? Why not, man?
Make a good case, Pesh. You make a good case.
It sort of has like, what if 90s cheese? Mm-hmm. What if you throw Lord of the Rings in there? What if you throw a bit of Avatar in there?
What if you throw Khal Drogo in there?
It's all just great. Just wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful mix of things.
Alrighty. Now, let's talk about Shazam.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
Alright.
And this video is going to be a two-parter. First, we're going to talk about Shazam without any spoilers. And then we're going to get into the spoiler section.
Mm-hmm.
So, without revealing anything, Pish, what did you think about the movie?
It is... what do I think about the movie?
That was the question. As I took a long pause of silence, he was wondering, what do I think about this movie?
Well, we saw the movie last night.
Have you had
together.
Breakfast yet?
I haven't had breakfast yet. We saw the movie last night together.
Yes.
And I'm still pondering on it. Not that it needs any pondering. It exists. It's a thing. The first two acts are decent, too fun. No true moment of greatness to me. The third act is just horrendous, insufferable.
Okay.
I'll get back to that in the spoiler section.
Yes, you will.
In general, it sort of does a good job at rejuvenating the IP.
Okay.
Bringing it up to modern times and build up some goodwill. And then breaks it all down.
Wow.
At the end. That I go like, I'm done. Like I started going like, hey, I'm sort of in, and now I'm like, I'm done with this IP. I don't need any more Shazam in my life.
What did you think about Zachary Levi as
I love Zachary Levi, you know that.
Chuck.
I love Zachary Levi. I liked him in Chuck, and he's a very likable guy. I like the kid actors as well.
Yeah, the dude who played Bill Batson and Freddy.
Freddy was pretty great. Billy was whatever.
Okay.
I like Freddy a lot, and I like Donna.
Yeah.
Donna was adorable. Those are two I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
Also the Asian kid. I don't remember his name.
The gamer one.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was pretty great too.
I have problems with that. It's very stereotypical.
That's a little stereotypical. No, he's not. He's just a gamer.
And a hacker.
No, that was cute. He's just a nerd, dude.
An Asian nerd. What is new, Page? What else is new?
All right. That movie, it has some very funny scenes.
Okay.
There's one extremely funny scene at the end in the third act.
Okay.
That takes a usual trope and just laughs at its face. And I really enjoyed that part. In general, it just didn't work for me, man. I enjoyed some of the humor. It has some moral. It's made for kids.
It is a kids movie. And I think that's where it's a very meta movie. It comments on the genre. It comments on the whole superhero theme. It comments on everything it's experiencing at that moment. I feel like it's somewhere between Deadpool and Spider-Man of the DC universe. It's a wish fulfillment film. What if a kid could have a superpower in high school, just like Spider-Man is? But it's also commenting on everything it's doing, because it's Billy experiencing something as an adult. And that's very PG Deadpool to me.
But didn't you think they got very old very fast?
Not very fast. Like by the third act, I get what you're saying. That's like it's starting to wear off the novelty of it.
Yes.
But on the whole, I enjoyed that movie, Bish.
I know you enjoyed that movie. I saw the grin on your face when the movie was done.
I was thoroughly entertained.
You know what I didn't like about this movie as well? Is that DC, man, they are banking on just not making modern, whatever that means, modern movie. I'm just saying it's a very, very 90s movie.
I get what you're saying.
This feels like Home Alone to me.
When's the last time you watched Home Alone?
A long time ago.
Yeah. Watch that movie. Yeah.
Really? You don't feel Home Alone in the third act?
I don't feel Home Alone in the third act. Third act has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I don't think it being. I don't think it being outdated and.
That's the word I've been looking for an hour, and you can tell me outdated. The movie feels outdated.
Yeah, I don't think it feels outdated for the reason you're saying. I think the directors were trying something that just could not have worked.
You know those Christmas movies, those the Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Okay.
And yeah, isn't Home Alone also a Christmas movie?
It is.
It feels like those movies to me.
But you know what else is a great Christmas movie,
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, whatever. Let it go.
And also Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah, okay. Yeah, you feel a little bit like those.
You didn't feel like anything fresh was brought to the table.
Nothing fresh was brought to the table.
I disagree with that.
Actually, I felt like I was seated in a time machine to a period that I didn't enjoy the movies of.
Okay.
The time machine opened up, and it didn't work for about 2 hours. I was stuck there. That's how I felt.
That's very specific, Pesh. That's very specific.
That's how I felt. So I definitely
write that script.
So I definitely will not put Shazam in my top 3.
All right. Well, I really like the movie.
It's a good sit.
I think it was really fun.
Okay. It's a movie you can take your kids to, though.
Yeah, it is. I really like Freddy. I think he's the strongest character in the whole movie.
For sure.
I loved what Zachary Levi was bringing to the role. I just like Zachary Levi. I liked him in Chuck. I like him here. Remember that one party where we dressed as a nerd herd?
We did dress as a nerd herd.
It was super fun too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the movie was. I mean, it was a very thin story. Very thin story. So there's nothing to be said about that. But I do think the story they had, they made the best of it. They made the best version of it that it could.
How do you feel about the third act?
Horrible. It was truly horrible.
Awful, isn't it?
It is awful. And Mark Strong, God bless him, he's chewing the scenery and he's doing all he can.
Mark Strong is like, I'm making this for my kids. Does he have kids? I don't know. I'm making this for my kids, and I'll try to have fun here. And most of the time, he is having fun. By the way, especially at the third act.
Mark Strong, I don't feel like he should be in any other DC movies anymore.
He shouldn't, should he? I mean...
He was in Green Lantern.
He didn't learn his lesson, did he?
He didn't. He was in Green Lantern.
Yeah.
And he was in this. And in both, there is some version of a brown poo cloud.
Yeah. Awful. Yeah, I didn't feel it, Maz. It built up some goodwill.
Okay.
I was starting to enjoy the movie, and then the third act just took it all away. There's not many times that goodwill could be undone this fast and that much.
Yes.
Like with this movie.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing where I do agree with you. I was really looking forward to where Shazam was going in a DCEU until the third act. I was like, I don't want to see this anymore. I don't want to see this anymore.
That's exactly what I meant. I was like, I'm sort of into Shazam. And then the third act, I was like, I am greatly and hugely and amazingly done with Shazam.
I do agree with you on that.
Please don't bring him into the other movies. Don't do this.
I don't want to see this.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
But yeah, for now, and maybe it's the freshness of it, it's my number 3, Pesh.
Okay, to ask you a question, since you're the host and you get to ask all the questions,
yes,
I'd like to take that role over for a second.
Nice.
Does this movie make you excited for the future of the DC extended universe? Does this movie make you wanna go like, I wanna see another ensemble movie? I want more of that.
Yes and no.
Oh God.
I am not excited to see the rest of the DCEU based on this movie.
Oh, it's gonna happen. You know that, right?
I am excited to see the rest of the DCEU because I know what's coming. There is a Batman trilogy by Matt Reeves, who did the Planet of the Apes movies, the recent ones. I have really high hopes for it.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Joker coming.
Mm-hmm.
And everything about that movie is screaming that it's going to be a great, great movie.
Yeah.
We have the James Gunn
Yeah, okay.
Suicide Squad coming.
You have all those stuff coming. What I mean is the extended universe. And what I mean by that is there's going to be another ensemble movie.
There is not going to be another ensemble movie, Pish.
There's going to be another ensemble
There is not going to be another ensemble movie, Pish.
How do you know that?
Well,
they're going to bank on this, milk it. There's going to be another ensemble movie. Even the... Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. I don't think they even want to connect these movies to each other anymore. They're going to be like little tips and bits here and there. But I don't think they'd want to connect it to the previous movies.
Really?
Yes.
Because this movie had a lot of things connecting it to the other movies.
Yeah, but very little.
But it was
very
connecting
little.
it.
It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to spread that spice over there.
I wouldn't say that even. It has a huge connection. And I think like they could have easily not done that, and I would have felt safer.
Yeah. I feel like they're trying to leave the options open until they see how it does. But I don't think there's ever going to be another...
Kids are
like
going to...
In this DCEU, I don't think there's going to be another ensemble movie.
Kids are going to eat this movie up, for sure. Right?
I think so.
But it's for an extremely young audience.
I don't know, Fish.
Although the 5 guys behind us were loving every joke.
Yeah, like I think it's more of a teenager movie than it is for kids. Because there's a lot of violence in this movie. And there are a lot of scary things.
Yeah, there's some scary things.
There are some scary things.
There were some scenes I was like, they did that.
There is a monster that bites somebody's head off.
Yes. Isn't that a spoiler?
It's not a spoiler. I'm not
right.
There's no specifics.
Monster biting your head off.
So it's not a very kid-friendly thing to watch.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. Do I wish it was a better movie? Sure. Did I enjoy it? Absolutely.
Was it worth your time?
I think it was. I had fun.
Okay.
I had fun.
For a moment there, I felt like you were having more fun with your nachos than your...
Nachos were great, man.
And the movie itself.
Nachos were great. Cheese sauce, some jalapenos. It was great.
All right.
But yeah, it does make my top 3, Pish.
Okay.
For now.
Shocking.
For now, I think I'd have to replace Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice with Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it might be in a novelty of it. It might be because I just watched it and it's so fresh in my head. But also, I know that this movie would be a much easier rewatch for me than Batman v Superman would be.
This movie is less harmful to the soul than Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
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 But it's nowhere near my top 3.
Apesh, to close everything off, I'd like to say, you are the Martha to my Superman, but you are also the Martha to my Batman. Now, that being said, we're going to finish the video right here. The second part of this episode is going to be the spoiler review. So come back when you watch the movie. In the meanwhile, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about us, and see you next time. Pow pow!